Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Vizrt Tuesday Tutorials. I am your host, Richard Evans. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Today, I'd like to show you how you can customize your workspaces in TriCaster. Now, this will show you how you can create a custom layout and then switch back and forth between them as needed to make your life in production land much, much easier. So, let me show you how it's done, son. All right. So, here I am on my TriCaster 2 Elite interface, and let's start playing around with customizing workspaces. Woo! Okay, so if I go to the top of my TriCaster interface, you'll see you have an option here for workspaces, and then I have, I'm just going to focus on multi-viewer 1 for today, but the same concept is going to apply if you have multiple monitors plugged in. So you'll see that I have 4 different selections here as far as different layouts are concerned. All right, so this is my A right now, and if I go to B, you'll see that that is a little bit different, C, etc. And go down to D, which will be my scopes. Okay, cool. So quick concept on that. All right, sweet. Okay, so this particular layout is going to be for mix effects, and it basically is 8 over here on the left, and then 2 over here on the right as far as your screen layout is concerned. So let's go through here, and I'm going to change some stuff around. So let's say that I want to keep my mix effects up here at the top. They're just these mix effects 1, 2, 3, and 4, but then I want to have different sources here at the bottom. So I'll go through on mix effect 5 here, and I'll select input number 1, and we'll just go across input 2, 3, and input 4. Okay? Cool. Now, these particular sources that I have coming in, these are coming from a different TriCaster, etc. So this is just being an NDI feed across my network. All right, so now I have this layout set up, and I'm good to go on this one. So if I go over to Workspaces now and select something else, let's say I want to go over to my scopes, make sure things are balanced correctly, go over here, cool, there's my layout. And now if I go back to Workspaces and select A, that layout is still saved like this, okay? Now, what I wanted to also show you here is if I go to Workspaces, and I'm currently on A, and if I go to Load Defaults, what will end up happening is it will load whatever I select over here and overwrite what is currently checked, okay? So even if I select a completely different layout, let's say I select one that looks similar to B here, so if I go load that, and that looks like, is that bank 1? Looks like it. Close. Okay. So I'm going to select bank 1 here. And when I do that, now it has all of this laid out completely differently as a default, input 1 through 12, and then my DDRs and mix effects and buffers. And so now you'll see if I go here, I overwrote what I just did. Okay. So even if I go back to my scopes like this, for example, and go back to A, that has overwritten what I had made. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go back and recreate that. All right, so mix effects 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll bring these back up. Inputs 1, input 2, right click on it, input 3, and I'm just right clicking on these to get to this source. So you can put whatever you want on here, to clock, to custom images, you name it. All right, and then 4. Cool. So now I have that set up. Good to go, and so if I go to my scopes again, I'm just showing you when you go back and forth that this saves what you have on that particular setting. Okay, so cool. There you go, and back to that. So that's a way for you to customize that. Okay, now keep in mind you don't really have the ability to say like export this or anything like that. So let's say you wanted to use this later on for another session. Okay, what we would do for that is we would just basically use this session as a template for it. All right, and you'll see in the top left corner here, this session is called Tuesday Tutorials Template. So I'll go and exit this session, and let's start a new one. All right, so now I'm back in the main menu of the TriCaster, and I'm just going to call this one Workspaces with a bunch of S's at the end of it. Okay, so now what I want to do is, in order to bring over everything from my previous session, including my workspace setups, I'll go to Template here, and I will select from my drop-down list Tuesday Tutorials Template, click on that, and then start my session. All right, so now we're in the session that I've called Workspaces. And you'll see on my workspaces, my A is the way I had it in the previous session that I built, and it even brought in those sources as well. So it brings over not just the layout, but then also the settings that you had for the inputs that you have bringing into the system. And again, if I go over and load up my scopes like that, cool, and back to A, and ta-da, there it is. All right, so this allows you to save these different setups of your workspaces here underneath the workspaces, so you have those 4 to choose from. So again, you can load different defaults into any of these. So if, let's say we don't want to use scopes in D, I'm going to load defaults, and let's just make it ME follow like this. Okay. And let me right click in here again, and I'll just make this input 1 and input 2 like that. Cool. So now that overwrote the scopes one that I had in there. So different ways you can play around with this and customize your workspaces to exactly how you want. And highly recommend playing around with it. And of course, you know me, have some fun. There you have it, a nice little trick to customize your TriCaster workflow. Now, you can find more information about Vizrt products and services by contacting your local Vizrt partner or visit our website, vizrt.com. And you can find more tutorial videos like this one by subscribing to the Vizrt YouTube channel at youtube.com/VizRTofficial. And you can also get professional training with Vizrt products by signing up for Viz University at vizrt.com/community/viz-university. And if you're posting your work using Viz products on social media, make sure that you tag us using the hashtags Vizrt, TriCaster, or 3Play. We love seeing what you're working on. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for another episode of Vizrt Tuesday Tutorials.